ACS gas training, ViperGas training manuals. My name's Alan Hart, and in today's video I'm going to show you the ViperGas manuals and just go through them. Now I think that these books have been sent to me for free, so just to bear that in mind. They're very inexpensive, so being sent them for free would not influence my video at all. I'm going to show you these. I'm going to go through these books. I'm going to show you why I believe that these are some of the best books on the market. But yeah, we'll go through all the different sections. I'll go through some of the different sections and show you what's good about them. If you're with a training provider now, then they may supply you with manuals, and you know they'll all have similar information in them. But the good thing about these manuals are they're all in colour and they're easier to read, or certainly I find them easier to read. So anyway, yeah, let's go and have a look. As with all my videos, this is my opinion. My opinion on gas safety books and your ACS gas books. I'd really love you to add your opinion below. Let me know what books you use for your ACS gas training, but also day to day. So when you're out on the job, which books do you refer to? I'd be really interested to see what different people use. But in this video today, we're going to have a look at the ViperGas Domestic Natural Gas Handbook, and the first one is Volume 1. All the sections in the manual or in the gas handbook are colour coded. So if we start with the top, section A, health and safety, and then if we go to section B is regulations and acts, section C, combustion, measurement and control, section D, gas controls, section E, chimneys, flues, open and room sealed, section F is ventilation, section G is measurement of gas pressures and tightness testing, H is re-establish gas supplies, purging after testing, section I is checking pressures and pipe sizing, and section J is checking and setting burner pressures and gas rates. So if we have a quick look at section A, which is health and safety, there's all sorts of information in here. Health and Safety at Work Act, there's RIDOR in here, health and safety signs and regulations, tools and equipment, working at heights, purging and testing, electrical aspects, fire prevention. There's all sorts of different labels and things like that in there. There's lots of things to do with health and safety. I'm going to go to section B now. And section B is regulations and acts, and there's lots and lots of information in here to do with the British standards, approved documents, gas acts, etc. There's loads and loads of information in there, but what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go on to section C. And section C is a very interesting section. It's combustion and it's measurement and testing. So this is a really important section, and it's a big section, and there's lots of things that it covers. So if we have a look here, there's a full list of what it covers: combustion of gas, flame speed, etc, etc. There's just absolutely loads and loads of things in here. As you can see here, some detailed diagrams as well. Shows you about propane and natural gas. Also shows you about explosive ranges in natural gas, propane and butane. But there's, as I said, there's lots and lots of pages in this. Combustion, measurement and testing, carbon monoxide, shows you the effects. As I say, it's a very detailed section about combustion measurements, measurement and testing. Also shows you some burners in here and how the burner works. And that's just briefly looking at section C. There's lots and lots of information in there, and loads of charts and loads of things that make it easy for you to use and understand. If we go on to section D, this is a section that a lot of people struggle to understand, and it's gas controls. And when we have a look at this gas controls, we can see that it's got very detailed diagrams and descriptions, which will make it a lot easier for you when you come to do your ACS gas training, because not only will you see the controls, you'll actually be able to understand what's actually happening with the controls. So if we just have a look here, we can see some different burners, different valves, controls. And these manuals, I believe that they suit new entrants into the industry because they're really detailed, but also they suit people that's been doing the job a long time. The diagrams are really easy to understand, and there's loads that I've missed out on this video. Obviously, this video would be 5 hours long if I went through all of it. But now if we move on to chimneys and flues, and this is section E. And again, with the other sections, this is just a brief overview of it. It is a very detailed section. If we have a look here, we've got some diagrams on different types of flue on boilers. And then it also goes on to fluing the degrees. So obviously flues, 45 degrees for open fluid maximum. And then we go on to some different types of chimney pots. And as you can see, there's lots of clear diagrams in this. And that was just a brief overview of that section. As I say, it's a very detailed section. But now, if we can move on to ventilation, which is section F. We'll just have a quick overview of ventilation. The first page on ventilation tells you about BS 5440, part 2, 2009. And then it goes on to show you a few detailed diagrams. Again, very clear, easy to understand. And again, this is a very in-depth section that you'll be looking at. There's far too much in this section to cover in one video like this. But now if we move on to measurement of gas pressure and tightness testing, and this is section G in the book. And again, this is another detailed section. If we look at this first section, it shows you about the U gauge or the manometer or the water gauge or the U gauge, whatever you decide to call it. And if we look, there's lots of things in here. It tells you about electronic gauges. Personally, I use electronic gauge. It tells you about pipe volumes as well. Also examples with cookers, warm air units and gas fires. And then some meters as well. All sorts in that, to be honest. Again, another very detailed section. And I think that's sort of about it for this video. I just wanted to show you these books, really. Just show you what's just an example of how good they are. I think they're really good. And just to bear in mind, that's only part of the first book, which is that book. There's also another book as well, and in that book there's the rest of them, which I'm not going to go into in this video now. But there's installation of pipe work and fittings. What fittings can we use? Can we use press fit? That's in here. How to bend, and just briefly go through this. Some pages. Low pressure meter installations. We've done some tightness testing and stuff with that. Done some videos on them as well. Meter installations. central heating, shows you about central heating valves there. So again, that'd be something for new people into industry to be able to understand how boilers work really. Some central heating design in that book as well. Lots of it here. Lots of information, should I say, on central heating design. Position at pump. Talks about negative pressures, how close you should have your cold feed and expansion. Really detailed. It's a detailed book. What else have we got in there? Gas cookers. Shows you all about gas cookers. Shows you about stability brackets. Clearances on gas cookers as well. As I say, I'm not going to go into all this because this video will be just too long. What else have we got? Warm air. There's warm air in this. So a lot of people, I mean, I've done warm air in past many years ago, but I haven't seen a warm air boiler on patch for probably 15 years or so. I've seen them at training centres when you go do your ACS, but not actually out on patch. But some areas of country, you might have loads of warm air. But whether you've got loads or not, if you're going to be covering it on your ACS or any of your training that you're doing, then obviously it's in this book, so it'll give you a little bit of a starting chance, if you like. Water heaters, also water heaters. Again, we don't come across water heaters that much these days. Fault finding on combi boilers, risk of electric shock. So obviously we did that video with Socket and C on the TB118 safe isolation of gas boilers. So if you haven't watched that video, then please watch that video. That's really interesting video, also for your safety as well. And it's going to be included in the ACS at some point. I don't know if it's been included yet. I think it was going to be September, but obviously with COVID and things like that, that might have changed. What is a combination boiler? So it shows you what a combi boiler is, gives you some examples in there as well, you can see. So that again, that'd be good for any new trainees, showing you fault finding as well. Fuse, so what size fuse do you need in a boiler? Most of the time in a combi boiler, it's going to be a 3 amp fuse, but you would always check your installation instructions, and some boilers might be different. Normally they are 3 amp though. But as I say with all my videos, always check the installation instructions, the manufacturer's instructions. So they're your two books that I've got here, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Let me know what you think. If you've got these books, then be really interested to have your feedback, because obviously lots of people watch these videos and they also read the comments below, and it's really good to have feedback from you guys, because then you know it's everybody's opinion and not just my opinion. So I'm never going to switch comments off, because I want your feedback and I want your opinions. But yeah, that's it. In my opinion, these are the best books I've seen for the coloured and detailed diagrams and how easy they are to understand. So I know, as I've said already, if you're with a training provider, then they will have their own books that they want to give you, or they might want to sell you and whatever, and you might have to have them. That's fine. But in everyday life, these could be something that you might want to buy. I don't know how much they are, so there might be that they're a lot more expensive than some of the other books, but I don't think they are. I think they're quite cheap. I should have checked, to be honest, how much they were, but I didn't. So yeah, please put some comments below. I'm sure ViperGas will be commenting on this video, and he'll probably add his email and things like that. They might have a shop and where you can log on and click on and buy them if you want to buy them. I'm babbling on again as always. Yeah, if you want any other videos like this, I've just got a new I've just got a new tester and probes as well. So I'll do a review on that shortly. If anybody's got any questions on that, again, please ask them in comments below, and I'll try and include them. I'll give people a shout out or whatever in that video. So yeah, thanks for watching.